How you doing out there? This is John Wayne Mercure, the Sonneteer, writing to you from Sonnets. I write sonnets all the way here. I'm in Chandler, Arizona. It's beautiful here. You'd love it here. And I wrote this sonnet here, and I'm thinking, man, are we really that silly? I guess we are. Sonnet number 1326, John Wayne Mercure, the Sonneteer. The name of this sonnet is, and man, it's a mouthful. Elitists, Oligarchian, Collectivism. That the rich people want to run everything. Let me tell you again, the name of this sonnet. The elitists, Oligarchian, Collectivism. Run everything, they're going to take everything, they're going to rent everything, and when they do, the rest of us can be slaves. The elites are now, they're working on taking over the world. They're slaves everywhere by iron boots ridden right on their neck. Big Brother watches, even now, over all things. Look at that, there's Alexa cameras everywhere. Do you think they're not listening and watching you and listening to what's going on and recording you? Hey, we got to stick it to the people. We got to make them believe in continual warfare. 1984, George Orwell, what a masterpiece book. It was Oceania against English socialism. English socialism against Asia. There's no good for you to pray. It's awful proletarian despair, the common people, the trash, the scum, the excess population. There's no hope. There's no escape. There's a devil to pay because we lost our freedom. You know what they're telling us? That ignorance is strength. We don't want you smart. Ignorance is strength. That war is peace. We'll never have peace without war. War is peace. Believe it. And ignorance is true freedom. You're going to be free when you're stupid. Believe it. We'll give you a government job. You're doing the dance of the dead. The dance of the dead. A whole world shackled down in chains. Our inescapable doom because we let freedom die. We let liberty die. And we didn't fight back. And we didn't speak up. And then it was gone. And then they came for us. Like the Nazis came for us. Like they came for Anne Frank. They came and they got us. Why? Because we didn't fight back and say liberty and freedom. We could lose it all in one generation, said President Reagan. And he was right. George Orwell's 1984. You need to run out and get a copy of that book. I read it in college and it's still burned in my memory. They teach Newspeak in 1984. All right? In this awful book. Newspeak, that's the way we're going to speak now. The bare bones language, cut to the bone. Cut down dictionary words. We don't need all those words. They give you unspeakable workloads doing these books. Ubiquitous work, that nobody ever reads. And there's dirty little spies everywhere. You rat on your neighbor. You torture them into hopeless, helpless compliance. They have to say yes. They have to agree. You break knowledge by stripping words of their brilliance. We don't need all those words. The word noble, I love that word noble. It means righteousness. Noble, nobility. There's 60 words that mean noble. 60 splendid synonyms. Well, in Newspeak, we're going to get rid of all those words. We don't need all those words. We're just going to say noble. Noble's good enough. We don't need that much thought. And each time they cut and kill a word, it kills thought. Ralph Waldo Emerson, one of my heroes, he said that each word in the very beginning was a poem. It was so pregnant with meaning that a new word had to be born. That they're each like that, and from all the languages of the world, it's beautiful. Well, I'll tell you what, cutting down words to nothing. Our meaning is nothing. Education is nothing. And they work on this saying that, hey, you got to gamble on slaves not understanding, not knowing, limiting their vocabulary. That's awful, but it's policy. You got to limit thought. 1984, George Orwell, doublethink is the policy. We'll tell you two different things and you'll believe them both. Catch 22. Doublespeak is the law. That's policy. Doublethink, opposites are truths. You don't know which is which. You just believe what you're told. It shrinks your brain into ignorance. Raw. Orwellian. I'm telling you, George Orwell, I wish I could write like he has written. He was a genius. He wrote of Oligarchian collectivism. That all these rich people, they run everything. It's a new 6-6 world order of Satanism is what it is. The evolution of billionaire dictators wanting to run the world. Communist domination. They'll have their lackeys do the work for them. There's going to be food shortages. There's going to be mass power outages and blackouts like communist California. They're already having it. No toilet paper. You're using your left hand for proper sanitation. You got to close down schools with phony China virus national pandemonium. Hey, there's 330 million people in this country. Get a grip. We've had 250,000 deaths. That's terrible. That's not even 1%. We got to get back to work, and now we got to be free. We have to have our liberty. We can't be cooped up and let these pendejo fieros, these ugly people tell us, no, you got to stop living. You got to stop breathing. You'll be less trouble. And if your business burns down, we'll get you a government job. Just vote for us. Hey, they're packing universities with Saul Alinsky Marxist Democrat professors that teach communism. They shut down free speech. Other people can't even talk. Conservatives can't talk. They shout down the righteous, the citizen speakers that try to talk. They shout them down. Riots, mob violence, while citizens cower in their sleep. What's happened to the American land of the brave, land of the free and the brave? Capitalism is America. And people say they don't like capitalism. Hey, man, capitalism is simple. You're getting paid for your God-given talents. It's that simple. You are free to develop your talents and to get paid for those talents. But you got to compete. In socialism, they don't do that. They let you do it, but then they take all the money. 100% taxation. It's collectivism. Right now, run by wealthy elites financing world revolution. They want to take over. They want to use Simon Boski's greed. Greed is good. While burgeoning world population explodes. There's 7.5 billion people. When I started teaching, there were 3.5 billion people. Now there's 7.5 billion people. If it doubles again in the next 50 years, how are we going to feed all those people? And the elites don't care. They're going to have their little forts and their hired security, and they're going to be ready for it to leave all the rest of us to die. Well, righteous people and free people and people at liberty, they know what to do. They know what to do. They got to make sure that the Bill of Rights and the Constitution are enforced with law, the rule of law. How many billions of dollars can a man have? How can justify one man's self-centered obsessions? Some of these guys have so much money, and they're not helping anybody with it. And there's thought criminals everywhere. They're telling you what to see, what you can't hear. Despots demanding obedience. Despots that hate your guts. They want to enslave you. Who are these people? Our only hope is America's holy Constitution and Bill of Rights. And I've been there when they wrote that building, the Philadelphia Freedom Hall, and I was in there, and I know they fought like cats and dogs, and it was July, and they were wearing wool suits, sweating like pigs, and fighting hard. Why? To get it right. We got to get it right. This Constitution has got to be the truth. It's got to be righteous, and we got to write the Bill of Rights, so we'll always have the government. We can fight back against what the government is when it oversteps. And it's holy writ, and people say it isn't. The Bill of Rights and the Constitution are law and order. And we have to remember, we can't have law and order without the police. We have to double fund all police departments, all sheriff's departments, and we got to do it soon. Why? Because the elitist, the oligarchian collectivism is going to enslave all of us. They're telling us what to see on the news. That Jack Dorsey acts like he's God. I'll tell you what to see, what to read, what to think. I know better than you. I'll cut off your service. The Sherman Antitrust Act, we got to enforce it. We got to do it now before it's too late. Everybody has to have a chance to compete. The righteous is simple. It's the righteous against the wicked. And I'm asking for your help. All of you out there, you radical Yankee Republicans, and I'm a radical Yankee Republican, just like Sherman and Sheridan and Lincoln and Grant. Law and order, law and order. We freed the slaves. It was us, the Republicans. It's the righteous against the wicked. Thanks for listening. God bless you. Et me kibuzem. Au revoir, mes amis.